Okie doke. So let's count down from 3, give it a beat, and then we'll start. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, hi Rick, hi Dad, how are you?
Hi, Tammy. Hi, everybody. Welcome on in. Tammy, how you doing?
I didn't lazy today. I work all week and I decided Monday I had nothing to do and I literally had done nothing
That's
at all.
that's
So
okay.
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Had a busy day at work, finishing stuff up to be off for the rest of the week. So
How's it
that'll be
going?
nice. But so we're here for the Small Shop Festival, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we are.
And what are we going to talk about today?
Uh, well, I thought that we would talk about a few things that we use every day when we're down in paint to help us. I know I have a few items that I use every single day, all day long to down and paint with. And when I buy something from a small shop as far as a tool, I think about if this going to help me in the long run for a long period of time or just a fun thing I'm going to use it one time and never again.
Sure.
And I have found a few items that if that's a necessity in order to need the done thing. So I thought I'd talk about some of those today. What are you going to talk about?
Well, I'm going to talk about how I get you to spend your money.
Uh, that's terrible. And I'm a sucker. I got
Um,
sucker written on my head right here.
well,
See?
no, I think you know everybody knows you have some limited mobility, right? So when I
Yeah.
see something that I think may help you,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to try it. When we went to the Great Lakes retreat, I brought a pen for you to borrow and see if you could use it and stuff like that. So, you know, I think we're going to be looking at it from from an aspect of here are some things that help you specifically with your mobility issues that someone else could relate with, and I can certainly pitch in with here's some things I use and why. But I think we both want to stress that we are not. If we could cover every single small shop, we would do that. But we would be here for however many hours because we talk a lot.
Yeah.
So what we've done is sort of narrow it down by what you specific stores that you have tried to use things or you've used things from that specifically help you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
Um,
what I.
so not that we're not intentionally leaving out any small shops. We're just here's some things that Tammy uses on the regular, and then while I'm in there with you, I'm going to be like, here's what I use and why.
Yeah.
Now, in general, talking about small shops, what do you like? Why do you feel that small shops are important to the community?
We cannot do this craft without small shop. Period. We gotta have a tray. We gotta have a tin. We gotta have our wax or putty or whatever you use. And to me, they need us as much as we need them. And sadly, with the time that it's very hard to teach in business, and I can't do a whole lot, but when I can, I do because they need our support. In fact, I was looking today, like I literally get up every day. Which shop can I help today? And I'll make cause every single, even a small purchase helps. And if you can't purchase anything, then I'll talk about it nonstop, and that helps too. So
Yep.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
They need us, and we need them. Period. Or
Yeah.
we shouldn't do this crap.
I have to agree. We could do the craft, but it wouldn't be as fun. We didn't have the pretty things
True.
and the things that are easier for everybody to use and
That's true.
what have you. And I'm a big proponent of the small shops as well. When I had my 1,000 subscriber celebration, gave away a bunch of gift cards and stuff because I admire the small shop owners because they are, well, first of all, I aspire to be one of them when I grow up because I just think it would be so cool to have your own company focusing on something that you love. And, it takes a lot of guts to open up your own shop and run things and do everything with the business. They're handling customer service, they're handling shipping, they're handling production, all that stuff. So yeah, absolutely. I think I've tried pretty much any small shop that I've heard about. I've tried them or I've talked about them. I know, and I don't know about you, Tammy, like how I sort of keep track of maybe a new small shop or something is I pay attention, even if I'm not doing the event, I pay attention to the sponsor list. And then it's like, oh, who is this? And then I go find it and check out the store and stuff and maybe make a purchase or at least talk about it. And then once you start building that algorithm, like because a lot of people are on Etsy or a lot of stores are on Etsy, they start recommending things and then you can find even more.
Yeah.
Do you think the same thing about finding the different small shops?
I do, because the first thing I do when I either participate in an event or I see an event is I go to that sponsor list. And then if I never heard of one, the first thing I did, and I was like, Enrich, hey, who's this? Because I know and he always knows who it is. And yeah, always. And if I'm looking for something, then I'll say, "Hey, Rick, I need this. Where can I go?" And he can tell me. And that's what I do. That's how I find my new shop. It's either a sponsor list or 95% of the time it's, "Hey, Rick, I need this. Where can I get it?" Because I know you know.
Yeah.
That's how I know. Because I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of shops, but the brand new shop, I don't. But I'm not on there looking all the time either. Whereas you are, and you're like, "Hey, Jimmy, did you check this out?" I think I found one, and I was so proud the other day when I sent it to Dante. And I'm like, "Hey, I found a new shop," and you're like, "Oh yeah, I knew that." I'm like, "Well, okay."
Well, it's not
But
necessarily a good thing that I have a spending problem, but
I'm glad
it,
you did
it
because
is what it is. Right.
I love it.
So, one of the things that I think about a lot is small shops that have closed, and whether it's because of, economics or whether it's just because they want to move on and do something else. I really miss some. I really miss some of those shops. Can you think of one or two shops that you really, really miss?
Right off the top of my head, Art and Soul. I really miss them, and a lot of people know that I help them, every day for hours a day, and I miss my job. Well, not job per se, but and I miss talking to the artists. I got to talk to some new artists, and most of all, I miss the owners, Melissa and Scott. They were really, really good people. And I miss them a lot. I miss Art and Soul. They were a really good diamond painting company. They had very high quality. And that's just one of many that I can think of. But that's the one that comes to mind. That's the one I miss every single day.
No.
I still keep in contact with Melissa too. So,
Oh, good.
you know, and then our friend Catherine, she had to close. And Italia Diamante Creations on Canvas, that's another high quality shop. And so, yeah, I miss my shops. I do. I miss them.
Yeah.
That's the two that I think just right off.
Yeah, I definitely like. I enjoyed Art and Soul. I think they had some different artists and things like that. And plus, what I like about small businesses is you can sometimes, you know, I mean, it not all the time because some of this stuff is hard, especially maybe when it comes to a diamond painting. But with trays and stuff like that, you're like, can you do this? Like, can you customize a little bit? Whereas, a larger company is not going to do that for you. So yeah, I
No.
miss Art and Soul definitely. I never did get an opportunity to try the sparkles on canvas until I got one. I got a palette in D-Stash. So I'm really excited to check those out. Um,
I think you'll like them. You
but
don't try hard to tell it, right?
yes, yep.
That's a fun palette. That's the thing. If you like Halloween and fall, that's a very fun palette. I
Um,
love it.
I will say the another shop that I really miss, and I think you're going to agree with me, is the Rose Mud.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that
So
pains me. That pains me. That's
yeah,
just
Rose Mud. Now they were something else before, and then someone took them over, and then they became Rose Mud, and they were putty.
they
And
were beautifully designed. It's
okay,
a yeah,
and I mean they made some fantastic putty,
they did.
and um, it's and plus all of the proceeds that went to charity because the people who
Mhm.
ran it also had like a consignment store or like a
Yeah,
sort of like a whatchamacallit, like a Salvation Army type store that
yeah.
funds were going
That's
back to
so
a
nice.
charity. So
Mhm.
it was nice to know that, gee, my overspending is actually doing good somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, because 100% of the proceeds went to charity, and so once again, and for me, they're run out of business. He said, "I think they are. Everything's on sale." So I was there, and I was a little crazy, and I thought about teen tax tutty, and I already had probably 20, but I can use that putty. It helped me, it's not stringy. It's thorn. I gotta have the thorn putty, or at least a nitty in the thorn putty. And so I thought, well, I gotta stop that because I'd used dolomite Disney design. They used to come in little round jars, and then
Okay.
she started putting in that you did it for me anyway.
Yeah.
Easier to get out. But yeah, I miss them too. I mean, yeah, that made me sad.
And I guess the good thing is that with as much as we miss those stores, new small shops have opened, and
Hmm.
not they haven't taken their place because no one can take the place of your favorite or
No,
something you really enjoyed. But there's definitely ways that these new shops are making up for that. So,
yes, there are, and
so
um, I just I look forward to new shop because I had now since I've been on YouTube as a creator for over a year, I had started befriending some of these small shop owners. And they are really good people and they work hard.
yeah,
But they are by themselves, like you said. And I mean, they not one or two of them they hire or not hire, they ask some of us to help them and
yeah,
I help a couple and you do and I honestly don't know how they do it because
yeah,
they work really hard and they tell you they're tired, trust me.
agreed.
So that's why I did people to be patient when they do place an order because they haven't forgotten you. It's
Right.
just that thankfully they got a lot of business and this is good. This
Yeah,
is good when I have to wait on an order
yeah,
because they don't the business.
absolutely.
Yep.
So, talking about waiting on an order, what do you say we look at some of the shops that
Yeah.
have things that have really helped you diamond paint? So,
Mhm.
you want to start off with Carissa's?
Yeah.
All
This
right.
again, God, I was thinking not on the aspect of diamond painting because let's face it, any diamond painting shop that you'll get diamond painting is awesome. But I was thinking more of tools, and there are a couple of shops that had really helped me in my everyday diamond painting. And when I say help me, I mean when I can do something by myself without asking my mom to do it, then that's a number one seller for me, and I will constantly keep using it every single day. And the first thing that I can think of is
I think it's this,
my
isn't it?
I'm trying. I forgot the name of. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. I call it my heat up tray, but that's not what it's called. Clearly, but I used to have a hard time diamond painting. I was telling Richard, and I was like, because I had my trays, I had my funnel, I had my bags, and it was all just spread out all over the place. And he was telling me about this organizer. And so I got one, and it's perfect because if you can see in the back, and if I think of it, I'll try to insert some pictures of my own to show you how I do things. But in the back, yeah, that there are two wide slots. And so on the left side is where I keep my sticker sheets and my labels and my dryer sheet because I always have my dryer sheets in the tiny tins, the tins that you get teddy blacks in. And then on the right side is where I keep my trays and my little round funnels on Carissa's or the bottles on it or the little floor funnels from, oh God, what's his name, Rick? What's that shop that had their little
Oh,
uh,
Fantasy Sparkles.
yeah, whatever funnel I'm using, that's where I keep it. And then the two slots there, I keep my scissors and my tin. And in the back, so where I keep my, I mean, the slot there in front, where I keep the drills.
Yep.
And that has been a tremendous help to me.
Yeah.
Tremendous help.
Yeah. What I know when I first found this, I don't know. Let me see if there's a description here. Yeah. So I read this, get organized and tackle your next diamond painting project with ease. And I thought, ooh, that could be helpful because when I would kit something up, I would, none of us have the biggest spaces.
No.
So you get with all the bags, and then you got the stickers, and then you got this, and you got the scissors, and you got the fun. Like you were talking about, it's like everything is all over the place. So like I literally keep this. This is in a drawer I have a toolbox that it sits in, and when I get ready to kit something up, this literally comes out of the drawer, goes on top of my desk, and I have everything I need as far as funnels and stuff in the back, like you said. And then I just organize my bags by numbers and stuff like that. And then I put them into whatever container I'm working with. So and I don't know exactly if you were just like, oh, I need, help keeping track of things when I'm kitting up or whatnot, or if I just recommended it to you, say, hey, look at this. This could be helpful to you. But I think this is just helpful across the board. But it's great that it particularly helps you as well.
I think, and I tell everybody I know about it, and I do the same thing. I keep the back of it, the stuff that's in the back, I keep it in there, with the exception of the funnels, because I'm constantly changing out. That I keep it in the closet, and then all I have to do is add my bag to it. And I think this would be helpful to anybody, like you said, especially somebody with limited mobility, such as myself, and you have a hard time reaching. I have a very hard time reaching to things. And so this is the number one thing that I use at Carissa Shop. The number one thing. I don't think that I could well, I could obviously sit up without it, but let's just say I can do this now by myself without my mom having to help me, and that goes into me because she's on her own life, and I've taken enough of it. So if I can do something and give her some freedom, I'm all about that.
Sure.
And then that's one of those recent purchase. And I had this one and I had the drills and chills one from last year that you did to me. And the reason I like these trays is because they're wide and they're big. And they hold all of my tins because I use 2 tins and tweezers. They hold my legend because I cut one of my legends off. And then if I do any types of enhancement, I'll write them on an index card, and it holds that too. So I hold all of that. So again, I don't have everything all willy nilly everywhere, on top of my teams and stuff. I love these trays. They're wide and they're just cool. And then glows in the dark. So who doesn't like anything that glows in the dark? I know I do.
I
But
agree. I was looking for the one from last year. It was in the shape of a coffin, and you're right. They're very big because let me get to make sure I'm showing this properly. But here's the tray I have, right?
yeah,
And here's a standard sort of trinket tray.
right.
So it's a good, I mean, it doesn't look like it's a lot bigger, but there's just enough more room that it really does hold a lot. And plus, I don't know, I just feel that and this is just part of the design. This is not anything that people are doing wrong, but when you have the rounded edges and stuff like that, sometimes my pen sits on top of it and it'll roll off and whatnot. Whereas with this, with the nice sizes and the square sides,
Yeah.
everything stays in it, you know?
It got and the sides are higher. They're like 1 inch or something, and they're higher. I had that tray right over there in Alamo. It was in the shape of the coffin, and I have my eye on the new one now, the new drill and jill tray. I trying to talk myself out of it because I had 2 of her trays, so I don't need a 3rd one, but, I mean, come on, it's in the shades of the detour. Kara said, "Potion bottle," I'm all about that, but, yeah, I love these trays, and they're not just something good to look at, and they're beneficial to me. So, that's another thing on the list in the shop that I love.
Yeah.
And then
Here's
the
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 one that you were talking about just then, the drills and chills one that
yeah,
is in the potion bottle or the whatever, the beaker.
I need that.
Yeah.
I
And
do.
they're
Don't
they're fun, and I have a problem that, when I participate in events, I want everything that's labeled the event, but it's like that gets really expensive and I run out of space and stuff like that. So I have to pick and choose stuff that really, sort of to your point of things need to be able to be used on the regular basis.
yeah.
Like, even though this is a Halloween tray, um, it's so functional that I'm probably going to have this out on my desk all the time because it
I
is so functional.
I can do anything Halloween and related all year long, and I have enough to last me a lifetime. So I don't care that this is more or less Halloween related because I will use it all the time. I still use the drills and drill from last year
Yeah.
all the time because they help me. I also put my bottles, the color I'm using at that time, I'll put it in the tray so that I don't get confused with
Sure.
other things.
Yeah.
Numerous times we all know me.
Yeah.
So
And Carissa, she's great to work with. I know that I've ordered a bunch of stuff from her, and when I was working with her on creating a tray for this event, she came up with everything. I told her basically that green color was sort of the green that we were using in the event font and stuff like that. But then
Right.
I love the fact that she even put on the gravestone the RIP Ozzy, and she told me, she goes, you
Yeah.
can't expect like a Gen Xer or whatever. She referred to the whatever group of folks that she's part of. She goes, you can't expect me not to put something on there about Ozzy. This is happening right around the time he passed. So
When I saw that, I was just so excited because I was like, that was just cool. That is a cool tribute. So I love having that tray just to that. And in general, I wish I'd gotten that cauldron tin holder there. 'Cause
yeah,
that's cool. I like that, or that trash drill minder, which,
yeah.
I still might. Who knows? Yeah,
What
who
else?
knows?
What else from Carissa do you use on the regular?
Okay. I also use that little funnel, the one that's shaped like a flower. The thing that I can think of most is I had two things. I had the tin holder that holds the 20 tins, the honeycomb shape. That's the funnels I use on a day. Because sometimes I just need it just to fill up a bottle, and I don't wanna go in over here and get my other funnels, so I'll use it all the time. I keep it on my desk, and it's lightweight, again, because it's 3D printed, so it's very lightweight to me. But, the tin holder, it's, it's like the honeycomb shape, and it holds 20
This one?
tins. Well, yeah, I'm trying to find it. Let's see. Yep, that's it. I use that because I have to have all of my things at arm's length always, and so I take that's it, that one I have actually, the rainbow one, I take it on my desk, and so when I want a tin, I just reach over and grab one. So I love that thing. In fact, I need another, to be honest. Um, I took over my other desk because I had two non-tenant trades. This, and then the other thing that I can really think of from the shop that I use is the Teddy organizer tray, the one that had the different slots. Like you had the you had the big slots in the back, and then in the front you had the, I think it
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18, maybe, in the front. Let's see. I know it when I see it. Why didn't I have the name of it pulled up here? It's a putty
this one?
drill. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Uh, the Roundup. Yep, that's it. I
Okay.
use that every day. Um, because again, I take it at arm's length, so when I need to relax, I did it because I use the hard blacks and the round tins. So I put those in the little slots in the front, and in the back it holds all of my putty. Now I don't really have anything in the middle because I don't know why I don't keep no freezer there, and I guess I need to start doing that actually. But yeah, that's what I use most. Um, in fact, I need another one of these because, like I said, I use I the, sorry, I had to stop that. Sorry, guys. But yeah, and it holds the little tin, the black, it's a perfect size.
Yeah.
So, those are the things, those are the islands that I use most when Carissa. Like I said, there are other things I've seen here that I could use, but these are the things that I use every single day to
Yeah.
help me, and I really recommend to anybody that had any type of limited mobility type situation. So
And
that's
even
what
what you sort of mentioned is you need to have everything out on your desk and accessible to you. Whereas, like I said earlier, I have a toolbox over here, and then I have like a cart with a bunch of drawers over here, and you can't reach down and get those things open and whatnot. So you need stuff out. So even someone who doesn't have drawers or whatever space, this
yep,
is this can help them even if they don't have mobility issues, right?
it does. Yeah, that's true. And I don't have drawers like my tables, or they. I mean, because I had the chair, so it had to be wide open on the bottom. So I don't have drawers. So I constantly need little organizers that had lots of slots and little knick-knack spaces because that's what I need. And I had to have everything right where I can reach it at all times. And
Yeah.
I think these are perfect. Now the trousers, I had tried those. Well, I tried the three of the young, and I couldn't open the three of the young. So I actually just got used, and I think those are an excellent concept for again people with limited mobility, but it's all in one tray, so you're not on sit tires and flooring that, and I think those are perfect.
And this is one of the things that yeah, as much as we cheese that I get to spend your money, it's also at the same time where you're like, I want to try Forever Young, and I'm like, well, try them. If they don't work, I'll buy them off you, or you give me some tray bricks too. What and I have a number of these, and what I like about them is, with the tray bricks, or anytime you see people kitting up into trays, there's those generic white things that slide together from Amazon, and those if you pick them up wrong, they could come apart.
Yep.
Plus, they're very tall, and I am scared of tall things that I'm just going to push them over. So I love having these smaller sort of footprint and wall print items. I have a number of these, and one of the things that and I also have like the pen holder. I have the Darth Vader pen holder because I got to have the Star Wars thing, right? But
Yep.
one of the things that I find particularly good about Carissa's stuff is that I find the walls, like let's just take the tray brick holder here into play, or even like the putty things. The walls are thick, like they're substantial, and it feels like you really have something there, and they don't feel like they're going to fall apart or break or chip or something. And even some 3D printed stuff I've gotten from other places, the corners have been almost like sharp, and I feel like I'm going to cut myself or something. And I
Yep.
don't find that to be the case with Carissa's stuff. Do you find that as well?
I did not. It's thick. It's not heavy, but it's heavy enough. And I'll just be honest, I did drop the again I call it my heat up tray, and it fell off from the bed onto the hardwood floor, which is a pretty good distance. And never even think that and I didn't have to cut all my stuff went flying everywhere. But yeah, and no, it's really thick and it really good quality, and it's not sharp. It's
Yeah.
not sharp at all. They're rounded. The corners are rounded, and
Yeah.
that's what I like.
Yeah.
And that's a cool over there.
So here's the Darth Vader. Did I need it? No. Did I have to have it? Yes.
But yeah,
Because,
yours blood
uh,
darling too.
and what I also like about Carissa is she is super picky. Well, both her and her husband, I'm sure, they're super picky. That when something doesn't come out well, like when I was ordering my tray brick holders, the filament that I had ordered is my favorite filament of all time. she said it's not really working great for these tray brick holders because there's glitter in it, so it was a little fragile, so that like one piece broke off, and she goes, I'm making you a new one. And I said, sell me the broken one at a reduced price, I'll still take it. She said, no, if you want it, I'll give it to you. So she gave it to me, and it's just a little chip off the one side. And I find this with all the 3D printing shops. They have eagle eyes. Like even Firefly. Let's talk about. I mean, those are probably my favorite drill trays. But
Right.
they'll have their periodic like seconds or misfit sales or something like that, and you're like, what's wrong with this tray? And they're like, well, see right here on the back, this really small place, it skipped a line, and and it's like, oh, okay. But the commitment to quality across the board with all of the 3D printers is just amazing. But
Mennonite's the same way,
yeah,
the same way. I mean, a lot of times I'm like you, I never do find what's wrong with it, but they do, and I think that sits over the microscope and not microscope. Wait, what's that called? The magnifying glass. Excuse me, they don't put it under a microscope,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, and all of the shops did that, that I know of, even with the tin. And I
yeah,
I think they have a lot of. I love the small shop. In
yeah,
fact, the third dining from small shop more than I do a major shop.
yeah,
And now that you saw this side up, that everything holder there from Delaware and Nicole, I use that thing. In fact, I use it so much. It helped me so much. I had three. I had two dining painting tables. One in my room, one in the dining room, and then I also done paint on my bed. And I made a toolkit out of all three of those. And they hold my tin, my trash holder, my uh I had a tin to tin, and it had labeled and dryer sheet and release takers. And then on the other side, it held my teddy and glue dots and all that. And then I used sometimes I'll put drills in there on one side because let's face it, a lot of the training these days come with 90 some colors. Well, shoot, I'm running out of space. So I had to start using my tray to that. And I had the large side and then I had the small side. And the small side I used to put my extra drills in, and say sometimes you'll have multiple bags of colors. So it's easier for me to put them all in bottles, and I'll label them 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. And I'll put them the extra bottles in those little trays, and I've got three of those. And they all match, those correspond. And that's what I do with the small one, is it holds my bottles of extra drills in a painting. And I use those every day or I couldn't down and paint because it holds all of my tools.
yeah.
So
And
that's
the key to this everything holder is the slots that separate the compartments are adjustable, right? So you can
mhm.
move them and make a bigger slot,
Yep.
smaller slot, whatever. Okay. Yeah,
You
I
did
could see where that could be super helpful.
you did 6 designers with that, and then you did 3 designers with the small one there. And yeah, that's what I like for Dylan, because I can just. And then if you need more slots, you can order more designers that then that use their cutout for each of those, so they wouldn't really see it, that
Yeah,
they're perfectly divided out. I love the
yeah.
trays. And that's another thing that those 7 things are the things that I need. When I say I need it, I truly need it because I used to down paint the salad when I started, and I don't know how I did it. I really don't.
yeah,
Especially when you're doing a large canvas, it just I highly recommend all of these things that I named for anybody with limited mobility
yeah.
issues.
Yeah,
I
because I
and
know, like, with my, like, spare drills and stuff like that, like, because if I, whatever containers I'm putting my drills in, you always have a little bit left over, especially when you're doing a huge canvas.
right.
Again, I use, like, dollar store containers. I just throw in a drawer. That works for me, but that may not work for someone who can't reach down and open that drawer, or just don't have a drawer to put stuff in. And these are some great options for that.
And I can't open a daisy. I mean, I can open a daisy. Well, sometimes I can open a daisy. But I
Yeah,
can't seal them shut, not tightly. So they end up opening on me and the drill goes everywhere. So it's just easier for me to put them in bottles. And that's what I use most are the bottles. You
yeah,
know. In fact, I didn't do a video on the tools that helped me the most, and as far as especially the, containers, because that I recommend the jars, mostly, but yeah, that I need to do that, but shoot, I'm so busy, I haven't done that,
yeah.
and it's just something I try to, you recommended, and they're perfect. I'm gonna let you tell us about them because you're more familiar.
Yeah, so I discovered IVs a couple years ago, and this is one of the more recent things that I had asked you, Tammy, if you'd ever tried, if you think it would be something that would be helpful, because one of the things that you need your mom's help with is when your putty is kaput, right, and you need to get it replaced. You can't do that, so your mom has to come in. So with IVs, it's a refillable pen. Like, and the way I like to think about it is, everyone is losing their mind over the new Diamond Art pens, and these are
Right.
leaps and bounds over the pink stick pens, right? But
Yes.
Ivy had this going for her, you know, long before Dak came out with these. So
Yes.
I brought one of them. I forgot which one I did. I did bring for you to try, but this is the first one I ever got from her, and it's like this. So the whole concept is very much like the Dak ones. Is you have the resin handle, right? But then you have these metal tips that when you turn them, you put wax or putty inside of it. Let me say this one I haven't put anything in yet. Um, so it unscrews. You put wax or putty in here, and then you screw this down. And then as you go, you just keep screwing it a little bit, and then you constantly have a fresh um, feed of the putty or the wax. And a matter of fact, when I ordered this first one from Ivy, this was before DAC even had their multi-placers, and I love DAC's multi-placers.
Right.
Now, Ivy does have, so this is a single placer. She does have multi-placer tips as well. I prefer the DAC one. So when they came out and she started drilling the ends of them, and I got like another pen with it, I asked her. I says, I bought one of these a while ago. Can I send this to you? How much would it be to drill the hole? She goes, just send it to me. I'll take care of it. She sent it. I sent it to her. I got it back, and it was drilled. It was perfect. So she really supports like her product. Like all good shops do, but Ivy definitely does that. And now she even has, I think this is the one. Wasn't this the one I had you borrow? Thought it was
Yes, it
blue.
was
That was
blue. It was blue and it was a short one. Yeah.
Yeah. So because you like the shorter pen. So
Yes.
so when you tried this, you were able to work this, right?
I did. It was not heavy. I looked at it and I thought it'd be heavy. It was not. I should have known the written out that I can't use anything heavy. That's not gonna return into anything heavy. And I could surprisingly I could turn it to refill when I did need to refill my teddy. I thought I'd have to ask you to help me. Nope, I didn't. I used that all week long at GLE, and I was trying to find a way to let you forget about it, you never did. But no, I did. It was so lightweight, and I didn't have to use the other tins. In fact, I never got my tins out. I didn't need them
Yeah.
because, and it had a multiplier on the end, I think,
Yeah,
didn't it?
I think I had one of the DAC ones on
Mhm.
there. And I
But
find now obviously you still need your mom's help to replace the wax or the putty in your multi-placer, but I find that multi-placer putty lasts longer than single placer. Like this sort of just it gets eaten up or something. It goes somewhere into the atmosphere.
it
Um,
does, yeah.
so yeah, I always do find, and you know, I'm glad you mentioned that they're lightweight because I think people when they see that there is a metal stump in it, that it's going to be heavy, and it's really not.
Mm-mm.
And a matter of fact, this drill or this blank is a blank that I sent Ivy to be made into a pen. So you can't even send her blanks. They will turn them for you. They sell regular resin pens too, but they will turn your blank into this. And I was excited for this one. This was Rapture Resins, I believe it was. I had never seen like one like this, so I was really excited to get this. And when I sent it to her, I said, "Do whatever you think is best with the coloring for this tip." And I mean, come on, look at it. It's just
Wow.
the orange and the green. It just picks up everything that's in the blank too. So she did a great job with that.
It's fantastic.
And one of the things I also mentioned to you is they have different shape tips. So like here, this shape it seems a little bit lighter to me just because it seems to maybe just be a little bit less metal. I don't know.
Yeah.
But even this, like I like a longer pen. This is super lightweight. And this one, they she just started making this is wood. This is a wood pen. Uh,
Wow.
this is super, super, super lightweight.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wood is light.
yeah,
Wood is probably the lightest thing for me to hold,
yeah.
other than 3D
And
printed.
one of the things when I know when I was talking to you, you said, "Oh, you know, I don't know. Sometimes when I go to the Ivy Dazzlers website, there's a lot of options, right?" And
Yeah.
I think you were just sort of like, um, I'm a little
I was
intimidated by it, right?
I
So
was.
I
Yeah.
thought I would show you and everybody who's watching a little bit about some of the options that Ivy offers. So, first of all, she does have like these pre-made modeled pens. Okay, you can change some things with them, but you could just say, "Give me the pen exactly as pictured," and get something and try it out at least, right?
Right.
So let me just open one of these here. So the first thing I like is they list their pens by the total number of inches. So again, I said I like a longer pen. So I always look to make sure I get a pen that's like at least 6 inches, and then with the additions on either side, it's a longer pen. Um,
Right.
so you can see here that you can say, "Give me exactly what's pictured," or you can pick your color, you can pick your shape. Um, you know, here, this is one of the placers. This is probably like a 3. In like if we were to see that multi-placer from the end, there's just 3 holes on the end of it that the wax or putty comes out of as you twist it.
I
Uh, but so you have the option of of tip, both shape and color. And then you can say, just give me the single placer, or give me, a multi-placer, or give me the single and a multi-placer, so you can have it, interchangeable tips on the pen. So you could have that as well. I would definitely recommend starting off with the single placer and use a multi-placer that you're comfortable with. That's sort of my thing, is a lot of people have trouble multi-placing, and you got to use what you are used to using, right?
I used to do the well. I use.
Let's see, the other thing, so there's more about shape and stuff like that. Then you could add a little shimmer to it, and she explains the difference between the shimmers. And this is the one thing that I recommend wholly, is these O-rings. And let me see, this is not, so that I could see the whole image on the screen here. So see those little rubber gaskets up at the top?
Yes.
So I don't know if you noticed when you were using the pen, because I don't think there wasn't a lot of putty in this, but there was one O-ring on the pen, and the whole purpose of the O-ring is, this one doesn't have the O-rings, right? So you see the actual threads of the screw thing. Well,
Right.
you hold the pen right there, right
Mm.
on the screw stuff. That could be a little annoying, right? That's scraping against your finger or something like that. So if you get the O-rings, now you're holding onto a nice soft, rubber surface.
Yeah, I
So
wouldn't have done that.
yeah, so I definitely recommend those. But the one thing I will tell you about, and on the site as well, you can start, you can go, let's see, customizable pens. You can say, I want to create my own, and here you're starting from the blank. I want that color blank, and then you go through all of the choices and whatnot. The thing I want to say is, if you are intimidated by the Dazzler website and picking out what options you want and whatnot, Ivy is so helpful. She will walk you through the entire process. Um, and further down it asks, what do you want? Do you want the end drilled for the deck, or do you want it drilled for just a regular multi-placer? And it fits just like any other pen. You wrap a little washi around it and it goes in. Or do you want it threaded? Do you want, there's so many options. You get to customize the pen. And what I like about these is that I like bringing these specifically to retreats, because I don't have to keep fiddling with my wax. It's like right here. But there are times that I will just reach for these and they just feel so good. Here's another one that she just recently did for me. I sent her this blank and I said, do whatever you want with the tip, right? And I'm like, what is she gonna do? Because I had no idea what do I do with the turquoise and orange tip.
I don't know. What would you do?
She just gave me this plain stainless steel, and
What?
as basic as that is, it is the perfect tip for this pen.
It looked yeah, it did. It
Yeah.
looked really, really good.
So so I was glad that you found that you could really use the Ivy Dazzlers, and they worked for you.
Yeah, I'm hoping to, after the holiday, to actually invest in one, and I'm not going to be doing that with that, because I'm just going to have it design this and not pay for it. Sorry, you're not friend. I did to do that. But at the same time, though, I am gonna walk you and actually let you walk me through it so
Yeah.
that I know what I'm doing, because I do want one. I do, and I want a shorter one. And because when my mom leaves, because she also works, and there are some days she's on hours. And that would be the tin that I use most of the time, because I can twist it myself I'll be honest, that really surprised me.
Yeah, so here you can see I'm twisting it, and this is super hard putty too. So you were able to twist this just to, I mean, because you don't need to twist it a lot. Usually you twist a little bit and then it comes out. You can
Yep.
even peel off the old stuff, and there you go. You got a fresh
Yeah.
tip.
And it holds quite a bit, doesn't it? Doesn't
Absolutely.
it hold quite a bit?
Yeah, and that's another reason for the O-rings, I believe. Like this one, you can see there's a lot of putty in here. If I try and turn this, I'm gonna push putty out of it, so there's more space. Whereas like the one that you were using has a little bit less putty in it, so there's not as big as an opening, but there's still enough putty in there to use. So
Yeah.
I think they're great, and I'm glad that you had an opportunity to try one, and I did make sure that I kept eyes on that pen at all times and that I was going to get it back. But I'm glad
Did
that they
it
worked for you.
time, but
Yeah,
we found it.
yeah.
But I thank you for letting me try it because I'd always wanted to try one, but I wasn't gonna invest in a tin and not be able to use it. And yeah, I know you love them, but let's face it, we all have our own tin that we like
Preference.
to customize ourselves. So I would
You,
have customized that tin that you wouldn't have liked it because I like a short tin, you like a long tin.
you like shorter and thinner. I like thicker and longer.
Yeah,
So as I always say, there's no right or wrong way to diamond paint. Just you be
yeah.
you, and that the pen is the most personalized thing that you use. So
And that's
Tammy, we're almost,
right.
yeah, we're almost out of time. So
Mhm.
I've enjoyed going through some of the stuff that I know that you've been able to use, and I will continue to keep my eye out for things that I think they continue to help you out. But I think I just want to reiterate, our small shops are really the heart of the community, and we need to continue to support them. I'm just looking at all of my stuff here, and it's like, you know, everything has come from a small shop, and everything has its own place in my mind, whether it's a um, lily pad from Tracy, or it's a bag from Sarah Ann, or
Yep.
I have cover minder magnets all over. I just think that small shops are so important to the community that we need to make sure that they stick around.
Yeah, they are. And I use those items too. The little pad I mentioned real quick, perfect. Every day. I use it every day because that's easy for me to
Yeah,
do. Get my tin, and I recently just received a large one, which is even better because I've made it up to a 10 placer, a DSU 10 placer. So, yeah, and again, there was so many items that I could have named, but we only had a few minutes, so
yeah,
those just the things that I thought of that I use every day.
yeah. I have to get me a big lily pad because I don't have one of those yet. So I'm glad that you told me
I
about
got
those for
something
sure.
before you did?
Yep, yeah.
Yeah,
Mark it
hold
down.
on, let me write that down.
All right. Well, Tammy, thank you for spending some time with me and everyone here. I am so happy that everyone's participating in the Small Shop Festival. Like I said, and I believe Tammy agrees, they're the heart of the community, and we have to keep them around. So please continue to support the small shops. And
We do.
that's all I have.
Yep, that's all I had. Just go support them any way you can, Dad, because even just word of mouth is that person didn't sit in. So, great, thank you for doing this with me. I've enjoyed it as always. I like doing videos with you. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a
And I
lot of
want
fun.
to thank Brittany and Robin for asking me to be a part of this.
Absolutely, ask both of us. So,
Yep.
well, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you next time. Come see Tammy on Diamond Painting with NMD, or my channel. Speaking of diamonds, we do the normal stuff, unboxings, all that good stuff, and we will
Mhm.
see you around. Thanks
Yep.
everybody.
See you guys. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.